We are live. So up today, we have a 288 bearing removal. That's what I gotta do. So I'm gonna clean all this stuff up while we're waiting for a few people. And see where that ends us. Speaking of stuff, I'm gonna chain tensioner. And a on-off switch. Now, if the 394 chain tensioner is the same, then I'm good because I think I have one of those. But I don't know. Don't know if that's the case. This goes in here. Stuff in there. Let's get another of these guys. So one of the things about putting a crankcase together, I gotta take the bearings out, of course, but when I put this crankcase together, you really need to have the bearings in the right spot. Usually you bring them up against the oiler. I don't have an oiler, but I have another idea. Don't worry, there's another idea here. Let's get all this stuff cleaned up. Let me check my other phone here. Bring you guys up on here so I can see what people are saying. Hybrid's here, Chris. Who else? Sorry. Sorry, guys. Gave the mill a first test around this. Talk about an addicting hobby. Yeah, no kidding. It really is like my most fun thing to do. I love running the mill. Yeah, that's the thing. You end up literally you fall in love immediately. And I think the reason that you fall in love with milling as soon as you see a log open is because yeah, not only is it pretty, but it's unique. Every single one is individual. Every single one is different. And you're the first person on earth to ever see it. I think that's awesome. You know, it's just such a unique experience that it just instantly grabs a hold of you. Hey, Ken. Well, yeah, Chris, it's that's literally the emotion that it gives you is like, oh my god, I just cut into this. Nobody's ever seen it before, and I am now taking part in a very unique thing. It's awesome. It really is. Right, hybrid. Yeah, that's the thing. I'll mill all kinds of stuff and be like, oh, I can use this for that, and this for that, and this for that, and then stack it and sticker it. And a year later, it's like I don't know what I milled that for. Hey, Bob. Yeah, you definitely have all kinds of funny ideas that go through your head. So, if we can, let's do some bearings tonight. Yeah, unless everything is labeled super good. Just a little Scotch-Brite on the crank here. That's the problem, is you just want to cut wood, you know? You're just like, I just want to cut wood. Yeah, but then you have to stack it and sticker it. It almost takes the fun out of it. Mess, huh? Just want to clean up this crank a little bit. Yeah, remember, I mainly deal in pine. Yeah, it breaks your heart to cut stickers. You're just like, this is beautiful. Why am I cutting stickers out of this? That looks pretty good. This crap on here. Hey, Brandon. Great. Hey, Arbor. Welcome. Somehow I'm out of Kleenexes again. Alright, time to break out the wire wheel of some kind. I know. Hang on a second. That's pretty good. Put this crank here. Yeah, see, I don't cut for grade either. I just cut. If it looks okay, I use it. If it doesn't look okay, I might still use it. You know? Every piece is a home. Sometimes it's in the fireplace, but yeah. The crank actually cleans up pretty nice, you know? So, just so everybody knows, the 288 crank is the same crank for the 181, the 281, and the 394. Hey, Dan. Missed you at the Connecticut get-together, buddy. Got a 288 potentially going together, but what I wanted to do tonight was get the bearings out of this crankcase. We get more of this crap in here, whatever this is, so I gotta clean this out. All part of cleaning up the crankcases. Something's in there that you don't want, can get loose, whatever. Not good. A little bit of mag rod in here, but not bad. It'll be fine. Just run good oil. It'll be fine. Yeah, it would be nice to have you, Dan. Does anyone need a wheel steel weed eater? Sorry, Brandon, I don't. Pretty good. My Scotch Brite pan would be better. Okay, for that. So let's do that. Have a good night, Hybrid. Take care. Now, I may mill this anyway, but on the Bridgeport, just so everybody knows, the right way to do this is to get this on a piece of glass or preferably a granite block and sand the whole surface. That way it's even. This is kind of like cheating. Kind of like cheating. This is not the 288 that was lost in shipping. No. This is another one. I literally got my money back today. Yeah, Brandon, I hear you're getting weather out there, huh? This is a super scraper. Sean Carr recommended. Needs a light touch. It is really sharp. I hope everybody's safe. We had pretty good thunderstorms today, but they did not last long. Too much stuff. This area back here doesn't seal anything, so you don't really need to worry about it that much. Okay. Hey, Tim. Sunny, hot, 86 degrees. Wonderful. Bunker house. Trash. Fun, fun. Great. Okay, one thing to do is we're missing a stud here. So let's put it in. Need to find a stud. And where did my bolts go? Take care, Arbor. Yeah, thanks. I'm trying. Takes a lot to get this stuff cleaned up. Where the devil is my box of bolts? It's not there anymore. There, it's down there. Hang on. Had tennis ball size hail. Ooh! I think that's a steel bolt. There's the flat one. Feels pretty snug. I just have to tap it down. You missed the race, so you can see it. You can see it. Poor Ken. There you go. That'll do. Okay, now what I need to do. Probably get the bearings out and then give this a final good clean. Okay, so how do we get the bearings out? Actually, before we do that, so bored today after your purchase. Well, yeah, if the piston's good, Ken, I might still consider splitting that, just because that's an easy one to split. You got it, Brandon. Yeah, 7 saws. Nice. The seals are easy on that one, Ken, and you can certainly split it without too much trouble. Okay, so let's measure how deep the bearing is here. 109. 109. 111. 112. 113. 110. So probably 111 is about average. 111 thousandths is how deep that bearing is. So now all I got to do is when we put the bearing in, that's what we put it to. We should be good, right? It's nice if you have the oiler there, and then you can pull the bearing in until it stops on the oiler. But Tim, when was this last rebuild? Same question over and over again. When was this last rebuild? When was this last rebuild? When was this last rebuild? Another thing to do. Tap the seal in a little bit, and it might actually be easier to pull it out. It might. Beauty. Of course, I didn't measure that, but it doesn't matter. I can measure this. .373. So 9.5 millimeters is the depth. Okay. So now what we need to do is pull the bearings in. Now you can hit this with heat. We can do this with heat, but I want to demonstrate how to do it cold, or at least how I'm going to do it cold. Hey, Edwin. Yeah, Tim, if you have an older saw and you ask, when was this last rebuild? And the answer is either I don't know or never, then the price goes down. Just remember that. Because it's going to need it. Right, Ken? Right. Okay, so what we want to do here is some threaded rod. How does this go through? Those are good enough. Good size washer on this side. And then I should be able just to put the nut on. on this side. So the idea is we're just trying to pull this effectively into the center. You know? So now we need. Oh, do we really want to cheat? Should we cheat? How much do you want to cheat? You can use a scrunch for this. So 1/2 inch scrunch. So it's 3/4 inch. 1/2 inch threaded rod, but it's 3/4 for the nuts. Coming. Don't need to heat it. There's your bearing. Ta-da! Go from the other side too. Same deal. Mint 372, 200 miles from me. Well, these things happen all the time. Don't worry, there will be another deal. Hold over here. Use the impact. And again, 1/2 inch threaded rod, just some washers. You need a good assortment of washers, there's no question, but yeah, Bob, you need to find more of those deals. Bearings. These are shot. In the garbage. Alright. See, now I gotta go in there and clean all that up. Yuck. This is just to clean up the crustaceans. Now I need the other Dremel. Now I can really give this a good shine. Then we can take this over to the sink and give it a good final clean, you know. Hey, Eric. Welcome. Don't worry, Ken. You'll catch up in a hurry. You're well on your way. Oh, son of a gun. I've already got this hooked up. That's cool. Okay. I do really like these stainless wheels for the Dremel. Just get this all cleaned up in here. Nice shiny metal's good. Especially the surface for the seal. I tell you what, guys, had fun at the get-together. If you've never been to one, it's a good time. The Connecticut one is good because it's small enough where you can really hang out with people, you know? Really nice like that. This one's not quite as crucial, but there is a rubber seal that goes right at this lip. Here's Jim. Will there be a fall get-together? I don't know. Matt knows I love watching the 288 build. I own 281, have two 288s on the shelf, need built. Send them, Bob. Ken has chainsaw fever. I know that a significant percentage of the Faust family has fever as well. I take no responsibility. All right, so now that's pretty cleaned up. So now what I want to do is go to the sink and wash and wash and wash again. Make sure this is super duper washed. Yes, when you see orange, you lose control. Yes, orange or shiny things. And guys just can't help themselves. All right, I'm going to go to the sink and give these a quick wash. I'll be right back. Most of his life. When people see orange, just the way it is. Okay. Just the way it is, guys, you know. And it hits some people harder than others. Some of you guys missed Hybrid Woodworks was here earlier, and he was saying, commenting on milling, and because apparently he got out and did some milling today, and on his sawmill, he went a little more crazy than I did, buying a mill, but it was like he was instantly in love. It just, as soon as you open up a log for the first time, you're just instantly in love. It's the way it is. There's just no other way to describe it, you know? Suppose I should check and make sure I've got a gasket here, right? Whatever. Fine. Okay. Gasket, right. Glad you guys mentioned it. Bob, the backstory of the 288. Okay, so backstory is simple. It's a parts saw off eBay, and I got it because, well, because I want to hang out with you guys. Here's the other part of the backstory. The other 288 never showed up. Very simple. Didn't show up. As far as I know, it's still stuck with Canada Post up in Canada. And the guy just gave me my money back literally today. So, Time is it? 9:30. Jeez. So yeah, so uh, I ended up in trouble because I could see on the other saw all the parts that it needed, so I bought most of them. So I've got $200 worth of parts sitting here in a box that have nothing to go on. So I had to buy something sort of similar, and this was it. And I think this is going to be way more work than the other. So I need all kinds of parts to actually finish this. Matt made Dunn ask you this question: how much is a 391 worth? I don't know. That series of saw is not my thing. Two 029s, 290s, 390s, 391s, 291s, not my cup of tea. Yeah, and apparently the Faust family likes the 268. That's good. All right. I'm not saying they don't have use, but it's not my cup of tea. I do use anti-seize on here just to have the bearing sneak in a little smoother, that's all. No, I do not worry about it spinning. Not because of the anti-seize anyway. Put a little on here as well. You really don't need much. Now, you can, of course, do this hot. Get this hot, drop the bearing in, up to you. When you speak of the 394 sound response, it's exactly what I think of when it started 280, 280 just run different. Yeah, there are plenty of people that are really into the 288s. And the 181s and the 281s, there are people that are really, really into them. And that's fine. I like my 394s. I've got this 288 here that I don't know what I'm going to do with. So, whatever. The real problem is this is going to be an awful lot of money to put together. So this part saw is like $200. It's probably more than that. $200 plus the 200 in parts I already have. And that's just going to keep going. I'm going to need a lot more to get this really up and running. You can see the parts list that I have here. Here's a 6203 Nachi. What I do is I take the seals out. Keep losing my axis. I really like this little yellow screwdriver. I just do. I had two. Found them in a reuse center, and they were brilliant. I don't know what happened. The other one is probably out in the yard somewhere. Really quite disappointed that I lost that. Just want to get started. And only on the outer race. Okay. Here for now. So both seals are out. And now we can pull this thing in. And this you pull in essentially all the way. Basically get it as centered as possible. Hold it on one side and hit it. If it's not quite going, take it apart, take your washer out, and see exactly where you're off. Say, up, it's a little off center. Then you'll notice it'll pull in right nice. Matt can use the tool on 200T. You don't need it. 200T is roller bearing, so you're not going to need tools to do that. I have a tool for the seals that I made, but other than that, no, you don't need it. Same deal. Yeah, now it's going to go. And you can hear a difference when it seats. You can do the, I've tried doing the bearings hot, and they don't seem to like that for me. So I just use 5/16 rod, threaded rod, and do that with that. Right, Ken has an 031 AV in pieces. Good, it can stay there. Actually, Ken, that guy at the Get Together Buck had an 041, which is a little bigger than your 031, and I think he souped that thing up, but somebody tried running it. I think it was Husky Boy. I think it was Mason. He was like, "Oh man, it rattles you." And no chain brake. You can get plenty of those as part saws. That's not a problem. There are lots of those things. Good. Now, we don't want to pull this one in all the way. We just want to pull this one in until, well, until it's at the right depth, which we measured earlier. Normally I just put the oiler in here and just run this right in until it touches the oiler, but since I don't have the oiler right now, so again, you need to have a really good assortment of washers to do stuff like this. Hey David, you made it. Again, not quite going. It's a little off center. Just give it a tap in the right direction. I don't know why they end up off center, but one day I'll do an experiment and see how many times you can do this. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. And see exactly when it gets loose, you know. Done cutting wood today? Good. Okay. Well, welcome. So from here, it's close enough that I might just be able to tap it further, but yeah, that's pretty, not quite there. I can tell. $190. Yeah, I got a bit to go. So just measure the depth, that's all. Set it to the same depth. The average was about 111. 111 thousandths, so I can always tap it in the other direction too, you know. $174. Yeah, the 201s are just not as desirable. Chris picked up a McCulloch 110 package deal. Runs great. Nice. Real heavy for a top handle. be a little bit more graduate impact. Let's try that. David, the carb 350, the EL42. I believe the Walbro 175 and 191 are also similar. $133. 135. See if that changed anything. $121. $123. $125. Again, just on the outer race. 114. 113. 117. Ooh, we are tight. Okay, now, because it's so tight, again, we don't have the oiler. Otherwise, I would have just pulled this right up against the oiler, no problem. There's 112. 115. 115. So the low side is low. Still 115. $113. It was 113 before. $115. 114. 112. I'd say a general tap all around will get it exactly where we want it. That over there is a little low. This here's a little high. There's 113. 113. 114. 115. Do we press it, guys? Do we press it? Do we go just a hair further? I need another 2,000s. That's all that I need. $3.94 all day, David. David, did you get the carburetor? There's 111. There's 111. And did it work? 113. I'm going to leave it right there. Brilliant. David, if you don't mind, I'd like to see the old carburetor, so ship it back if you would. Don't worry about it. If you're missing parts, don't worry. I have parts. Or I'll use it for a parts carburetor. If you want, I'll pay for shipping. And I'm going to leave you guys in suspense here. I'm not going to put this together tonight because I'm cooked. I'm going to bed. So, tomorrow's a long day. Wednesday I'm off. Tomorrow, if I have any ambition left, I'll come down and we'll put this together. All right, I gotta run. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Do appreciate it. And I will, I guess, catch you some other time. Okay. Everybody, be safe. 18 people here checking this out. This is awesome. I will put this together tomorrow night if I have any ambition left, because I want to get this crank in here, and then I got to start getting parts. And if anybody knows a great source for 288 parts, I can get a hold of Larry. He might actually have them. Bob, you're very welcome. Brandon, David, Ken, James, Tim, everybody, thanks so much for hanging out. I'll contact Larry and see if he's got parts, because I need a bunch. Okay, we'll talk to you later. Have a great night, guys. Night, Chris. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. We'll see you soon. Be safe.